Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. This time I've got one replay for you in the Tier 9 Italian Tech Tree medium tank, the Standard B. It's only one replay because I felt like this particular replay deserved to have its own video. And yeah, we definitely go on to have a good game here. We're top tier on LMA. There's one fun police in the game and one light tank on each team. So yeah, it's a fairly balanced matchup here, which is always nice. Yeah, the Standard B, it's a tank I've grown to quite like actually. At the start, I don't think I did, but like now, yeah, I've definitely grown into it, and I do like it a lot more. It's obviously got the the auto reloader gun, so you do have to be careful. You don't, if you just completely dump your whole mag, then the DPM is going to be atrocious. Because obviously, the lower shell you get down your clip, the longer your reload is going to be. But from here on LMA encounter, I decided that we're going to go south down to the 1-2 line at the start because it's the best. It's got fairly decent camo, this tank. I'm probably going to make use of that the most from this sort of side. We get a lovely shot into the Ragnarok. I managed to sort of come out unscathed there as well. I've got to be a little bit careful in this position just because of the enemy fun police. Obviously, I don't know where he is at the moment. He's not looking at me, but yeah, that's something I've just got to be careful of because obviously this tank doesn't have much in the way of armour. It does have decent mobility and a decent camo rating, but armour is it's not a strong point. So we're just trying to work for a shot. I mean, since it's only recently that they've introduced it back again, so when the artillery is looking at you, you get the detected symbol, which is really handy. So that's something I'm always keeping an eye on for, just to make sure because it might just give you that little second to sort of reload to move, so the fun police doesn't hit you. So it's always something to to look out for. Or it means you might have to start repositioning. We are a tank down at the moment. I'm trying to get rid of this KV4. I've got to be really careful because I don't want to eat shots off of the Ragnarok or that 704 tank destroyer, which was spotted on the left. At the same time, I want to just keep the enemy lit up. You notice that I'm only dropping one shot each time because that's what I like to do. Unless I know it's very situational. There might be a situation where I feel like I need to. It's crucial I get the damage into a tank, and I might, decide to gimp my reload in order to do that. But in this situation, it's way too early on the game for me and being really low on my DPM. So I want to make sure that I just keep to the single shot until I need to drop my mag. We're getting some nice shots in this KV4, slowly picking up the damage with this sort of 350 alpha of this gun. Unfortunately, we do eat one there eat two off of the Ragnarok. We do put them on a one shot for it, but yeah, it wasn't ideal. But I'm deciding that we're quite down on tanks here, and I need to try and make something happen. I'm going to see if I can try and relocate to a different area to try and put some pressure on, take out this KV4, which we managed to do. I want to chase down that Ragnarok so I can get rid of him, and then we can sort of try and take a bit of control of the map really, because at the moment we just want to try and we just move in, pincer the enemy team if we can. I'm looking for this Ragnarok, and unfortunately it's actually come out and allowed me to get a shot and finish him off, which is ideal. I'm now going to just spot to make sure there's nothing sort of camping on this TD ridge on my left. I didn't get targeted, so I'm thinking the case is clear there, and I think the most of the team is probably playing on the right hand side of the map. So now we've got rid of that KV4 and we sort of won this area. It's given us the freedom to use this ridge, which is perfect because we've got a perfect little cover on the encounter cap circle. So any teammates trying to play for that cap, we've got fantastic shots into them. But here's the 704 from earlier, so I'm having a look at that. I was thinking I was going to go around and take out that 704. But then we've got the check heavy. It's looking like it's going to make the cross. Now here, I missed my first shot. I do decide to go into my second shot for the first time at that game. And that's because I wanted to get some punish into that tank before it got into that position. Because it could be a bit of a nuisance if he's sitting there around the cap circle. So I wanted to try and make sure we punish that guy. We go to try and finish off the 704, but he actually gets taken out before we get there. We can now see that we've got this Centurion and this General tank, which is sort of putting on a bit of the work in our medium tank, so on our CS59. So we're going to try and see if we can provide a little bit of support if we can. Unfortunately, we don't manage to get a shot into the Centurion, but we are going to look now. We're going to get a full clip back and see if we can get any shots in. Like I say, we're in a pretty good position at the moment because any enemy team that goes to the cap, we've got shots in. We get a lovely track shot into that Czech heavy tank now. We're going to look to see if he's not paying attention. He isn't. It looks like he's still, well, we managed to retrack him. I do dump the clip here because I knew I could kill the tank by dumping the clip. And at this sort of stage of the game, when we were down in tanks, it definitely wanted to take guns out of the game. So it seemed worth it for giving my reload in that sort of scenario. I'm not in danger of being pushed at the moment. And I wanted to make sure we take out a tank where we can. Like this General on the left, he can potentially clip out our CS59, so I do want to try and help back our CS59 out because I don't want to lose a tank. We actually are going to take that shot, which is again to put us into our last round of the chamber again, but we actually managed to get another one into the Ferdinand. I reload, like I say, is gimp, but this was kind of the scenarios where I felt like I wanted to get the punish in, and I felt like it was a worthwhile trade. Because we are, it's a very close game on numbers now, and when you get those opportunities, I wanted to take them out. It's an even game for the 4-4 for the first time in a game. Now we've got this Wizzy crossing across in the open. Like I said, I'm going to wait for my second shot to come in, but I don't know if I'm going to have this opportunity again to put the punishment into this tank where he's completely in the open with easy shots for me. So I am going to take the opportunity to get those shots in, even though it has ruined my reload. But like I say, it's those situationals, and you have to judge when it's the right situation to drop your clip. And I thought it was the right situation because at this time, when you're in this 4 versus 3 situation and tanks are in the open, they've got to be punished for it. And I didn't want to wait until the reload. There's no good waiting for my 3 shots to come in, then the tank gets into cover and I don't have any shots anyway. So I thought it was the right time to make the shot. We're going to try and get one into this 50 TP. We are waiting to get our second shot in so we can double tap him, but I've realised at the time he gets into cover, he'll be out away for me to get a shot, and I've got the Hawk or the Aguila light tank behind me, and I can't sit in that location anymore because he's going to outspot me. He's got better camo, and I'll just get farmed. So I've just got to accept that that is a lost cause. And now I'm trying to get a little bit of distance between that light tank and the heavy tanks which are approaching. To try, because I want to try and get to a safer spot basically. Because that where I was at the moment, it was a death sentence if that light tank could just get 3 farms without spotting me. So we had to move. Unfortunately, our CS59 gets shut down, and now we're in a 1 versus 3, 2 heavies and a light. We're going to see if we can take out this 50 TP here. We could potentially 2-shot him, but unfortunately we bounced one of the shots. We have now got him on a 1-shot because it's got 350 alpha, so it's unfortunate that I don't manage to take that guy out there because that would have put me in a much better situation. But now I feel I've just got to move because if he's you've got the defender pushing me, the light tank. I need distance to be able to win this game now. If they get too close to me, I'm not going to be able to pull off a 1 versus 3. So the best situation I can do is to completely get my distance. I've got the mobility to get out of the way of that defender and the other heavy tank, and then hopefully maybe get in a situation that the light tank pushes ahead and I can take out that light tank. Because if I get into a situation where it's just me versus the heavies, then I'm going to feel fairly comfortable just because it's quite a big map and I've got the mobility. I out-mobility them, I outspot them because of my camo and probably my view range as well. So that's a situation I want to be in. But I need to get out there and create that distance. So I'm always keeping my gun behind me, as you notice, because there's no point having the gun looking forward because I don't think that's where the enemy team are going to be, which means it's going to be easier for me to try and get a shot in. I want to try and take this 50 TP out. I went for a chancy shot because, like I say, he is a 1-shot to me. I wanted to get rid of them. But now I can see this light tank's coming for me as well. It was practically full health, although I can, if I hit all my shots in my clip, take him out. We get one in. This is getting really, really chancy now. We get the second one in. I've got to get rid of this tank. I have to hit this shot or I'm going to lose. We do, thankfully, and now I can eat one shot, but I am getting pushed in a little sandwich. I'm trying to escape. Unfortunately, the Polish heavy tank comes around, and I need to make sure I hit this shot or I'm dead. I look back to make sure that the shot is aimed in and not going to bounce. Thankfully, we get that shot in just in the nick of the time. It was very, very cagey, and you see I have not stopped running because I've got to create that distance. I'm in a 1v1 versus the defender now. I am a one-shot to the defender, but at the same time, I'm going to outspot this defender as long as I can create that distance. And I'm thinking, I kind of think, maybe the defender will go and try and cap out rather than try and chase me down the map. So I'm going to get back to that position was I was at the start of the game, where I can look over the cap circle and hope to try and catch the defender out going into the cap, because if I manage to catch the defender going into the cap, I can potentially clip him out before he gets in, or at least get some damage in. And I'm thinking that's my best play at the moment, because obviously I've got to be able to, if he tries to close the distance down, have an escape route, and then hopefully I should be able to win this. The worst case scenario for me is he hides right in the cap in a way that means that I have to go in to engage. But I have catched him out going towards the cap circle. We've got one in, we've got two in, and that has put him on to a potential one shot. We've got 350 alpha and he's got 352 health left. So I'd have to roll a little bit higher than usual to take him out. If not, it's going to be a two shot to us. I'm now going to go and relocate because I suspected he was going to go and sit in the cap circle, and I didn't want to approach from the same angle I was fighting at, because I want to keep the defender guessing at all times so he never knows where I'm going to attack from. That's going to give me my best chance of survival and the best chance to catch him off guard. And you see the defender has sort of relocated. Oh, am I going to be able to get a shot in? I get one in. I do just roll above average. We take out the defender, and that brings us an end to the game. Let's see how we got on. We got the Devastator. We got the 7 kills, 8,092 damage, 1 versus 3 at the end. So yeah, really nice game for the Standard B. Obviously we've got the ace tank at a high caliber. And yeah, that brings us an end to this replay. So I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed making this one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and happy tanking.
Enemy in sight! Hadouken!